If you've been feeling like you cannot force yourself to hustle anymore, I need to let you know that you're not lazy. You're just tired of surviving. So I felt this way too when I felt like I wasn't doing enough. So I had to keep hustling, had to keep doing things because I needed to pay the bills, needed to build the business, had to go all out. And I also worked at a call center that basically was like you had to keep on hustling or you weren't worth it. And I realized that this wasn't laziness. This is just my nervous system tapping out. Like my nervous system was just like, they cannot take anymore. You feel fried, literally fried. And because you're on this hustle, your body doesn't trust yourself anymore. It doesn't trust me, didn't trust me. And it wanted to say, there's no part of resetting. We don't need a reset. We keep doing this. Now, this is part 2 of the Lazy Millionaire series. So if you haven't watched part 1, go back to the series there. So this one, we're going to be talking about survival mode. So when you're in survival mode, you're overgiving, overdoing, overworking, you're over it. It's basically hitting that validation point because then you get the gold star. You get the, I did it. I worked so hard. I remember there was a point of time in myself that everybody's like, I don't know how you do it. Single mom, 3 kids. I worked over 40 hours. I took them places. I did everything else. And I was just thinking that was the best thing like for me to do, like do that stuff. But I got tired. I got tired real quick. And then when it was time to slow down, I was thinking, if I'm slowing down, I'm lazy. Like I'm just not doing enough. And it kept going to an evil cycle over and over and over again. Has this been you? So now at this point in time, I've told my nervous system, peace doesn't exist. We're not going to have it. It doesn't exist because peace is actually in the fried system of I have to work. That is my peace. I didn't want that anymore. So some things I like to tell myself is by grounding myself. So a lot of people think grounding too is putting your feet out in the dirt, everything else. You could do all that. I simply think of a tree that I like, and I'm just going to give you a random one. Let's say pine tree. I snap my fingers and say, ground yourself, pine tree. I activated that when I say that my feet feel like roots in the ground and I'm grounded. And that point in time, I can make now the clear decision to tell my brain and my nervous system what to do. And then I tell my body, it is safe. It's okay. You don't need to keep on the mental loop. How many people keep doing looping where you do the same scenario and over again? I've done this several times. So when I do the mental looping, then I think of all the case scenarios, even though I already had the answer. I already knew what the answer was, but then you're thinking, I need to go back and loop it again. Loop it again, loop it again, loop it again. It feels like a broken record, right? So once you tell your nervous system that this has to be it, they follow that pattern. So it does take some time for you to constantly check your nervous system by saying it's okay. Now you have to do 1 or 2 things here. Mental looping, I always say like, is this something that I can actually solve right now? Or do I need to put it in a box? So I was like, okay, nervous system or brain or subconscious mind, whatever feels right with you. Go ahead and put it in a box and I will handle that later. Right now, I am staying in the present moment because it's always when I'm doing something that other things start popping up in my head. Number 2, you can also tell yourself like, I already have the answer of this. Why are we repeating this? It's done and over with. I am safe. Like nervous system, I am safe. And then I'll just feel like, now, that doesn't mean it doesn't creep up again, because remember, your nervous system's like, are we sure? Are we sure we're safe? Are we sure? And you have to keep saying it over and over again. So it does seem a repeated pattern, but you have to remember too that you also repeated the same pattern by telling yourself the most dumb shit. You know, like if I eat pizza, I'm gonna get fat. If I run, I'm going to trip. There's a lot of different things. I always feel like a lot of times I always sit there and watch people when they say things over and over again, they're just manifesting and telling your body, this is what's going to happen. I'm not saying that things won't happen. You might not be a klutz, but because as you probably told yourself, I'm always a klutz. And not even just a couple times that you did because you're out of alignment. I'm just using these examples because when you're getting to being a millionaire, and you're becoming either wealthy. And that doesn't mean you have to be a millionaire. This could mean that you have $20,000 a month. This could be that you have $5,000 a month. Either way, having that essence of that you are wealthy comes from your nervous system and survival mode. And what billionaire or millionaire is in survival mode? They're not. So in this series, you're going to learn what real life healing abundance will be for you. So if you are on the healing journey that is on for self-healing and abundance, hit subscribe, because we're going to go over this series, because I'm going to give you the blueprint exactly how it is to reset this. Because the things that I've done that has shifted, chef's kiss. And I just want to share the same things with you, because I feel like everybody needs to have tools. And sometimes what someone else said did not hit you, and it needs someone else to. So if I'm that person for you that just go ahead and says wow moment, then go ahead and make sure that you like, subscribe, and even share to somebody this video. Much love, and I'll see you on part 3.